Welcome back. Did you know there are rules meant to prevent price gouging at Denver's airport? A little-known policy that says prices for items behind security can't be more than 15% higher than prices for those same items anywhere else in Denver.
But two 9 News investigations, 21 years apart, show some of the vendors have ways of, just working around that policy to drive the prices up just a bit. Here is 9 News consumer investigator Steve Steger with the help of a former 9 Wants to Know reporter, Paula Woodward.
How come it's so much?
Two investigative reporters.
That's me. Thank you.
21 years apart.
For a small bottle of water, Port La France is charging at least double the grocery store price.
Looking into the same thing.
That's a 54% markup.
The cost of stuff sold at DIA.
Heightened airport security means more time in these lines.
A lot has changed at DIA since Paula Woodward did this story in 2004. The location of those security lines, for instance, and the street pricing policy itself.
At DIA, businesses are only allowed a 10% markup.
DIA changed that policy in 2022, upping it from 10% to 15% above street price. The reason? To help businesses here deal with rising costs.
I'm no math expert, but that seems a little bit more than 15%. Just throwing it out there.
But some things are still the same as when Paula looked into them.
The businesses get to choose what market price is and who they compare themselves to for their pricing.
It's why we found the McDonald's here can charge twice what they do outside the airport for soft drinks because they compare themselves to Arby's, Popeyes, and Burger King instead of McDonald's. Or why a 20-ounce pop is $3.95 here, a 32% increase from the soda we tracked at Walgreens. But the businesses used high-end grocery stores to help get that street price. Paula found similar issues in bottled water back then.
It's a more than 100% markup over grocery store prices. So what happened to that 10% promise?
Somebody comes out here expecting to pay 10% more for a bottle of water than they do at Walmart. No, that's not going to be the case.
And we got similar criticism for comparing our prices to big box stores.
The prices are so low because of the monster buying power Walmart has. Nobody could even think about matching that out here in this environment in the airport.
This time around, Steve on Your Side tracked prices for 80 items. 3/4 of them were marked up more than 15% compared to prices we found on the outside. The 57% increase on a phone charger cable, 129% markup on red vines. Though we got our comparison from Walmart. I know, tisk tisk. The airport says 93% of the prices we tracked may be high, but they were approved under DIA's policy.
We took tuna sandwiches from all of those places to the Cook Street School of Cooking.
Paula went a step further than me, getting an expert opinion on quality.
Got a little arugula on there.
I just ate.
Tastes like a normal sandwich for $13.99, which, I don't know, is that unreasonable for a sandwich? Maybe not. So much like Paula, we found some interesting comparisons these businesses have submitted in order to charge higher prices. Take McDonald's, where we found those soft drinks were both double the price there, and the coffee was double the price as well. Coming up tonight, by the way, on Next, we're going to talk about a potential bill at the state legislature to try to basically legislate situations like this, where you're a captive consumer somewhere and not allow that kind of price gap.
15% seems, I would think a lot of people who watch the story say you should charge me the same, maybe just within the airport. If I buy it outside of security, I buy it behind security. Why am I paying 15, 30, whatever percent more?
So the airport will tell you that the businesses there have a lot more costs when it comes to running a business. They talk about the fact, like going back to the Walmart comparison, she'll say, by the time a Walmart sells a bag of pretzels, that bag of pretzels is still sitting at security, waiting to be screened. Then it's going to go on a golf cart, go a long way to get to the right vendor's place before they can even put it on the shelf to start to sell it. So the logistics are tough. The rent at the airport is higher. The labor costs are higher. But we've asked, isn't that what's baked into the 15% markup, right? You're allowing these vendors to mark up by 15% from a street price. They say not necessarily that it's tough to run a business. You run into people on the other side of the argument who say you have a lot of people walking around an airport, a captive audience, but also a ton of foot traffic for your brand. So people see these things.
I never see somebody without something in their hand. And I think of the fact that if you have a delay or something, and for people with kids.
Yeah.
If you have kids, you're stuck. You've got to fork over the big bucks to keep them fed.
Yeah, the legislator that we talked to, part of the reason she proposed the bill was after she was at the airport and paid about $100 in snacks for her kids as she's waiting for it. So we'll talk to her coming up at 6 o'clock. It's a great way. The difference between Paula and me, Paula had to go out and search for prices. I could just look them up on my phone right there in the airport.
There you go.
Difference 21 years.
Paula, good to see you again.
Yes.
Thanks, Steve. To catch all of the Airport Price series, just text airport prices to 303-871-1491. We'll send you a link right back to your phone with all of Steve on Your Side's coverage.